Episode 10.
Tissues for your issues, dude. We don't have time for this shit.
Yo, don't misuse the whole tissues issues thing.
I'll never misuse the tissues issues with these piss shoes.
Dude, or else I'd have to diss you.
Wow. All right. Hello. And just like that, we are off to the races. Yes. The rhythm, the rebel. Without a pause, I'm lowering my level. The hard rhymer. That's as far as I can remember at this time. Here we are at Mostly Sorry Podcast, episode 10. You know us, big fans of Chuck D. I'm here with my co-host, producer, friend, most importantly, friend. I want you guys to always know that. David Deary. David, how are you doing today?
Oh, man, it's good to have friends out there, you know? I'm doing good. Today I'm doing good.
Nice. That's good. Yeah, so we I don't know, we want to talk about, we're going to talk about everything that's kind of going on, right?
I guess so. I mean, I've heard about these podcast things. I'm not sure how they work, but I guess we just talk about what's going on. But Joel, we always start the same way, you know? We got a little jingle and everything, you know?
Man,
you know how
hell
we do
yeah.
it.
That's
Mental
right.
health
Let's hit
minute.
it.
We always get into it with the mental health minute. So Joel, how you feeling, man? How's your mind?
You know, I'm okay today. I'm doing well, man. Today was, I think, day 41 of meditating in a row. You know what's kind of crazy is I got an email. Apparently, they're streamlining the process where it used to be a 50-day course. They're turning it into a 28-day course. And part of me is that's cool because I think it's more accessible to people, but I'm also pissed that I am day 41 and they're gonna change it on August 11th, and today is the 5th, I believe. I'm just like, shit. So I have, let me see, I have about 5 days to finish 8 things, so I might have to double dip because I'm making it through the 50-day course, mostly so I could hold it over people's heads as like a 50-day supremacist. I could say, oh, you did the 28-day course? Oh, it must be nice. Guess who made it through the 50? Rookies? No, I don't know. Whatever. I think it's good.
Congrats on that. I mean, that's huge.
Thank you.
I've like I said, I haven't gone more than 12 days in a row meditating. I have been meditating for a while, but I can't go that many days in a row. I just like yesterday, I just missed a day. I don't know how it happens. I just don't do it sometimes.
I think about that.
Yeah.
I think about that now because I'm like, after I finish the 50 days, how persistent will I be with the daily meditations? Or will I just, now that I don't have this 50 to get done, like, will I care as much? But, you know, I don't know. It's been really good, man. Today I hit a few moments where I was at peace, so that was good. I've been getting freaking headaches from for people that don't know, you know, there's this process in the meditation that they have you sort of hear stuff or see stuff, and then a lot of times we think that we're viewing stuff from behind, like, our eyes, like within our head, but really you're not. There is no sort of central, you know, our consciousness and awareness is just all happening at once. So they have you look out at something, but then look for the thing that is looking out. And I have had some moments where my brain starts to hurt just from that. It's a crazy concept. I feel like that shit could take years. I know there's books written on the subject, but man, seeing the seer is fucking, the conclusion I've come to is I've had a moment where I'm like, oh, it isn't coming from any sort of central thing. It just is, you know. I don't know. Have you had that experience, David? Where did it make your brain hurt at first?
No, it's never made my brain hurt, but that's always the one thing where I feel like I want something to happen and I know something's supposed to happen, but I've yet to really detach from, you know, looking at seeing the seer, or, you know, you don't have a head, or there's no, but, you know, there's been times where I've felt the oneness of everything
Yeah.
Not like extreme, not extreme, but I felt it. Oh, okay. So like a horn honking and a thought and just me, that's all kind of part of the same thing, I have felt that at times, on a
Yeah.
minor level, but no, I no.
You know,
But I
I
do think I have felt effects of meditation, but I haven't felt this like expanding, like crazy, mind blowing meditation experience yet.
yeah, mostly I feel the calmness of it. And I've had a few moments where I can sort of. One thing that was interesting was they'll do like a thing where they talk to you, so you hear the thing, and then you sort of see for what is hearing. Even just talking about this, it's like mental gymnastics almost, because it's such a. It's almost like an artsy concept in a way, but and so I don't know if I'm actually doing it right a lot of the times. I'm just kind of trusting the process. But the day that I was doing the hearing thing and looking for what was hearing, I literally just saw a visual in my head of my ears like listening. So I don't know if I'm trying to really sort of figure out what that concept is. I just realized my air conditioner is on. I'm gonna turn that off for a second. Hold on.
All right. I mean, I'll just
Who
say this
cares? They
that
like
there's
this hardcore stuff, you know?
I'll just say that I don't think there's any right or wrong answer to the meditation thing. It's just it's just you go for it. Like there isn't I don't think there's a right answer. I've thought about writing Sam Harrison being like, what's supposed to happen when you say look for the looker? What am I
Yeah.
supposed to experience? But I don't think there's an answer. I think that's part of what meditation is. I don't know, but I could be wrong.
Yeah, I think that part of it is it's just a tactic to literally get you outside of your head. Like you're no longer thinking those thoughts, you're looking for who is thinking those thoughts. I think it's sort of like a distraction, like a more enlightened distraction sort of tactic, I think. But
Always good to think about thinking, That's what I say. It's just good to think about why you're thinking, why
yeah.
you would think something, what would make you think something, and why you believe something. And it's always good to just kind of challenge that and really
Yeah.
just kind of question, like, what do you believe?
Yeah.
Are your thoughts in your head? Are you a real thing? Like, are you, what are we?
Yeah, that stuff's cool. I think sometimes it can get I can think a little too deep. It's weird though. Now I've been able to pay attention to even bad thoughts and stuff like that, and somehow detach myself from the feeling. Last week I did a thing where he'll have you think of a bad thing or something that makes you scared or angry or whatever, and then basically pay attention to what it does to your body. So you're turning it into energy rather than thinking the thoughts. You're more experiencing like what happens to your physical body. And so I think these are all just things to get you outside of your head and pay attention to the raw sensation of being alive, if and I'm not this isn't me sounding like a smart guy. I'm literally just stealing what they say on the app. But yeah, dude, 41 days in, I've enjoyed it. And we'll see, man. I can't wait to do like a report back when I'm all done with the 50. And I've had a few people reach out to me about possibly trying it and stuff like that. So that's been nice. I hope you guys figure it out. I recommend it to people, but also I'm the guy who people have been telling me for fucking 5 years to meditate. And I'm like, yeah, whatever. So you'll get to it when you get to it. But when you're at a point in your life when you fucking need it, I'm sure you'll come crawling to me and David. I'm kidding. Yeah, it's interesting, man, to think about that. Like how you were saying, it's good to really think about what we believe and our thoughts. And I think that's a lot of this podcast. And a lot of the people that rub me the wrong way in the world are people that don't ever question their thoughts. They sort of know what they think all the time. They know maybe they don't even know why they think it. They just like have this belief. And yeah, sometimes those people can be scary because there is no getting through to them, because their beliefs are basically a brick wall where I would like to think of my mind as maybe like a tide, like it's always there. The ocean is full of ideas, but sometimes the bad ones go out and new good ones come in. And I want to always evolve, and I feel, and I'm not like, I was thinking about this today where I don't want to have this self-righteous sort of if I'm arguing with somebody, I promise I will legitimately put myself in their shoes and think about why they think that. I can see their perspective a lot of times, but I feel like sometimes those people don't do the same to me. They don't. They're sort of closed off to my thoughts, and I would just like to. I would like us more often to do that with each other, sort of ebb and flow. And you don't have to agree with somebody, but you can sort of see why they're doing it. Um, even like with Trump, it's like I hate everything he says, everything he's about, but I get sometimes why he says the things he's saying. Like it's a political contest. He's trying to win hearts and minds of whoever it is he's going after. So I see the tactic of it. So I can understand that as a political stance, but I don't agree with his political stance and or his method. But that's what I mean. Like I can sort of like see the matrix of like why somebody thinks that, but not agree with them. So I hope that as humans, maybe if I'm wrong, somebody can see why I am wrong, or what in my life led me to that conclusion, but also maybe enlighten me with whatever they think is maybe a more enlightened sort of way of thinking. I don't know. Do you have any thoughts on that, David?
Do you have any big time conspiracy theory people in your circle? Like, do you see a lot of like QAnon posts or
I don't even know what the fuck that is.
right? Okay, I was wondering.
Mm.
And also like culturally, like where do Mexicans like stand on the like conspiracy theory like,
Um, I
stage, or is it mostly white people?
I got some people near me that yeah, because I think the nature of being, and not even just white, black, brown, whatever, just let's just say minority or disenfranchised. By the nature of being disenfranchised, you have to have paranoia and distrust of the systems, the powers that be. Like I think that that's just something that is
Right, but I
innate.
mean that's everyday life. We're not talking about like conspiracy theories like the police beat black people more than they beat white people.
Well,
That's not the kind of conspiracy
I
theory I'm
got you,
talking about.
but so
I'm talking about like the whole like masks. Masks, here's a good one.
yeah.
Masks are actually harmful for you.
Ugh.
And getting the population to wear a mask is actually a form of like genocide
Oh
and
my
control,
God.
to make people weaker so they can control them.
These
Do
people
you have
need to
anybody
buy a
like that in your cipher?
dictionary and fucking look up the word genocide, because it's like, come on, that's the mental gymnastics taken that need to be taken in order to believe a conspiracy theory like that is it's wild to me. Yeah, I do. I mean, I don't. I'll just listen to them say stuff, and then I'll just kind of change the subject because I don't want to get into a thing with them. Yeah, I have some people close to me that, not that specifically, but the reason I brought up the disenfranchised thing and the paranoia is because I've been thinking about maybe it starts there and then there is this like deep unearth, like is the Earth flat? They go like further and further, but so my
It's
my
all connected, man. It's all connected.
yeah, so I was
5G.
the other day I was in the living room. My mom was watching this that show Hoarders, and I was thinking about sort of what biologically creates that hoarder mentality or whatever. And I think it's that. So these things are connected, and I'll bring it around. Hoarding, overeating, depression, and conspiracy theories to me are all evolutionary traits that come from the reason people overeat is because when we were, early humans, we had to hunt for our food and stuff like that, and really actually like pack on stuff. And I think that now that we don't have to hunt for our food, those things are still deep within our brains and maybe more active in some people, and that can create sort of this like overeating thing where you're like, you're trying to put on fat for the winter or whatever, and since we don't have to do that anymore because we have homes and all that, but I think somewhere deep in our brain is that the same thing with hoarding was like,
But also, some people just love Big Macs. You know
oh,
what I
that's
mean?
true, yeah, I mean, yeah, but I tend to think that I think I would even think those people, even if they're conscious of it or not, there is some sort of biological predisposition to that. Same thing with hoarding. It's like I've known people who grew up with nothing, and now that they have something, they hold on to everything that they can get. So that. So then.
I have a small hoarder gene in me. Like
Oh, me too, man.
I don't want to throw things out because I just feel guilty. Like, so even if I get mushrooms in like a little container, I'll want to keep the container and use it again.
Mm-hmm.
And that just like that adds up every time there's like a plastic mayonnaise bottle. I want to keep the mayonnaise bottle and
Yeah.
put stuff in it, but then I just have 50 empty mayonnaise bottles, and then we buy another plastic mayonnaise. It's like,
Well,
there's
I always
bucket of
wondered
mayonnaise.
why your house was full of mayonnaise jars and mushroom plastics. It's actually made of those things, right? You built your house.
That would be amazing. That would actually be a good use for those things, but no, it's not. There's cabinets full of dumb shit. I have tons of old hard drive cables and all kinds of weird electronic shit. I probably have digital cameras from like 20 years ago that I'm like, I should sell this on eBay, and I've had it for so long that it's probably worth $13 on eBay, and I won't give it away, and it'll just sit there until eventually it'll become trendy and I'll use it again.
Hey, maybe you're such an early adopter that you have the shit from beginning to end to beginning again. You're cyclical. I'm an enabler, actually. No, but I definitely have that too, man. I got shit in my, I have, sometimes I get connected to like memories of a thing, and the internet, like the iPhone and stuff, and hard drives have helped. Like I see that on hoarders too. Sometimes they'll get people a hard drive and a scanner so they can scan the newspapers and then just throw the raw newspaper away. But then what I started doing is now I hoard photos on my phone, and it's like, maybe it takes up less space, but it's sort of the same shit, like mentally. But so the reason I brought that up was I feel like the same thing with conspiracy theories is like this distrust that we have from fear. For some people, that gene just never stops, where they can unearth shit till the cows come home. But yeah, I don't know.
Well, it's something worth thinking about because, nowadays there's a massive amount of misinformation going around, and especially with, a lot of the people we are seeing in politics right now, their number one, their weapon, their political weapon is misinformation, lying, and, memes, conspiracy groups. I mean, I'm not trying to like just jump on the wagon of like, oh, Trump's all bad, but it's like, if you look at who his like number one supporters are, it's like Alex Jones, Ben Shapiro, all these like dudes that just basically will just say anything.
Yeah, and it's not, dude. It's not. I'll be clear. It's not even a Trump thing. Like, honestly, I think, I've said it before. Ice-T said that, right and left, they're both just birds on wings on the same bird. I distrust, I would say, most politicians, almost all of them, even the ones that are good. Like, here's what it is. Even if you're a good person, once you get into office, I feel like you really start to find out that even if you really meant it in your heart, you find out that like you really can't do all the things that you wanted to do or that you promised to do, because you got to pay the piper at a certain point, and there are people that you got to answer to. I think that even the best politicians with their hearts in the right places, when they get into office, they realize like, oh, this isn't what I thought it was going to be. I mean, you see them come out of office looking so haggard and old, and it's fucking a job I would not want. So,
No, nobody wants it. That's why no one good does it. That's why it sucks. I mean, everybody wants to be a YouTube influencer. It's like, it's such a sad world that we live in. Everybody wants to be a podcaster, YouTube celebrity, Instagram star.
It's fucking,
it's
ridiculous. It's Black Mirror shit, but also there are people out there doing cool shit. One thing I saw pop up that was awesome is like they're doing all these community refrigerators places where people are putting food and stuff like in the community, and people can go and get like vegetables or sandwiches. Like, that's something that is not on the internet, that is not hype. That is like, if you're hungry, there is a place for you to go get something. That's us taking care of each other, and that sort of really resonated with me. Today is MCA from the Beastie Boys' birthday, and I was thinking a lot about him today, and he was somebody to me that always spoke their mind and used his platform later on in his life to to say what he felt and exact some change in the world. And so happy birthday to MCA. I was they got the MTV award. I shared it today on my Instagram, but when they got the MTV award, they he used that moment to talk about how he thought it was a mistake that we had bombed the Middle East, and how that if they see that as an act of retaliation, then there's obviously more retaliation's going to come. And it's just like, where does the back and forth ever stop? And he was talking about us looking into nonviolent ways to solve issues. And then he led that to, there was a time in America where people were treating Arabic people and Muslim Americans with a lot of racism, thinking that like all Muslims or all Arabic people or people from the Middle East or brown people were terrorists. And like, he just used that platform to talk about it. And it's actually really interesting because Chuck D is the one who like brings them up to receive the award. So he's on stage too. And it's just this really great moment of
connections.
Yeah, exactly. Connections and music and what it can mean. I talked about this a little bit on early episodes, how for a long time I was like, well, I don't want to be involved in that. I just want to make funny jokes and this and that. But, I was hearing Todd Glass on his show this week too, talking about how words create action. They just do. And if you believe that they don't, then like, I don't know what to tell you. It's like, they brought up the fact that that's why there are laws against certain things. You can't yell fire in a fucking movie theater or things like that. Like and to watch some troll like comment like, actually the law is you can keep whatever, go ahead. If you really have some sort of constructive shit, go ahead and say it. But if it's just you being like, actually so words create change, and now I'm more and more conscious of that in my older age. And so that is just something that I wanted to give a shout out to MCA for doing in his life. And that.
But Joel, I heard you were gonna yell fire in a movie theater when we get 50 Patreon members.
No, not gonna do it. Well, nowadays ain't nobody in the movie theater, so maybe.
Good point, man. Wow, movie theaters. Remember them?
Yeah. So, but I just wanted to talk. I just want to talk a little bit about that and like the impact. Sort of, it's hard for me. So a couple things. It's hard for me to really describe the influence that the Beastie Boys had on my life. It didn't really even click to me till I was watching the movie, and then I was like, started going through the years of my life and everything that they had done, and sort of like, I was like, oh wow, like sort of subversively, they have been this huge impact on me artistically, musically, even fucking, fashion wise and politically, man. Like I remember I didn't know much about what the Tibetan Freedom concerts were and stuff like that, but because, MCA was involved, it really made me like look into that. And, I remember, here's a cool thing that the Beastie Boys did. A lot of people will give them shit because their first album was pretty intense. There's a lot of crazy, they were young, and, there's a lot of crazy shit on that album. Is it the most woke album? No. But later on, what I thought was cool, I remember that the Beastie Boys years later issued an apology, like a written apology. They had it like on MTV News, like a whole thing, that they were apologizing for the like homophobic, misogynistic lyrics and like other stuff on their previous albums, and that they were really trying to make a difference. I have never to this day haven't really heard a lot of artists do that. Like issue like a official apology and like statement about like their past actions and like accountability to move forward with a positive message. So like I will always remember that. I remember hearing it and I was like, that is so cool that they did that. It just shows that they were evolving and really they became adults, and the things that were important to them changed as they grew older. So I will always love them for that, and the impact that they had on my life. And the more you sort of learn, MCA was really a big part of the group, man. And there's a mural here in Outwater Village of Adam Yauch, and that because they had connections here to Outwater Village, Grand Royal Studios was here, and so even just that, man, all that stuff like infiltrated my life at a young age. And the videos they did and all that, man. What a creative inspiration, and what a like legacy. And the next time I get to go to New York, I'm definitely gonna check out that park that they dedicated to him. So rest in peace and happy birthday to MCA. And if you don't know the fucking Beastie Boys, quit living under a rock and just go check it out, man. I remember getting this.
Who doesn't know the Beastie Boys? I mean, is there a single person on the planet who doesn't know the Beastie Boys?
I don't know. Maybe young people. Maybe like I don't know if they're really
That'd be crazy.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's like not knowing the Beatles or something like that.
Yeah. It's,
How young could you be? You mean like babies?
I mean, like maybe 12-year-olds. I don't know, man. Some
Right.
kids, but who knows? Even if you don't know them, you know them because Fight for Your Right to Party or Brass.
12-year-olds might not. 12-year-olds might not. I don't know what 12-year-olds are like these days. That's pretty young.
They like Lil Yachty and stuff like that. That's fine. That's your music. It's not for me. But
I could see a 12-year-old being like, I like old people music. I like the Beastie Boys, A Tribe Called Quest.
For sure. Yeah.
De La Soul.
I like oldies.
That's what my grandfather listens to.
Dude, really?
Oldies.
Yeah. But that's another thing. It's like those bands that have gone through generations where first a kid hears it, then he has a child, his child likes it, then he has a kid, another grandpa likes it. It's like that shit's fucking a big deal, man. And yeah, dude, it's just what a great group, man. And then creatively, like the music videos and all of that was just so fucking awesome, man. But yeah, so yeah, that I'll say that, and that's actually, it reminds me because I heard like, and I know that people will say it's actually not legally binding, but MCA had in his last will and testament to like he didn't want their music to be used in advertising, and that goes back to just like the meme machine and advertising and buy this and the way that the way that the media and advertising are used to sort of sway people, and I think they've later have had their stuff used in certain things, like they did one for like the Paralympics or like but overall you're not gonna see I hope you're not gonna see a Beastie Boys song in like a Tide commercial or like a
trying
beer
to push
commercial.
the Paralympics on us all, man. That's fucked up, man.
Yeah.
That capitalist scumbag.
Well, that's why I think it was okay that they did it for that. It was at least for a good thing,
Sellouts trying to pump the Paralympics.
I will not
all.
have you soil the good name of the Beastie Boys on our podcast. And I'm just kidding. I know he's being sarcastic, guys. If you didn't get it, now you get it.
Fucking sellouts.
I don't know if you noticed this. I have a new background today. I'm trying out a couple new things. It's just a black background.
Fleece. The old black fleece. Nice.
It's not really fleece. I don't really know what you want to call it. I don't want to move too much because I don't
looks
want
like bubble goose.
It's kind of like, yeah, it's kind of got that feel. I went to Home Depot the other day to look for backgrounds, and I found one that was so sick, but my truck is fucked up, and I couldn't take it home with me. So maybe when we get around to it, I'll go buy that.
What was it? Tell us about it.
It was just like a wood. It looked like tiles, but made of wood.
Okay.
It was gray. It was sick. So they also had like brick wall background. That's kind of played out. I thought. What do you think?
No brick wall.
But I thought about doing that and having like a fat cap like tag that said mostly sorry like behind me could make it cool. Maybe
Could
like
make it cool.
a throw up. I don't know. So there's that. So the reason I'm wearing these headphones today is because I had an ordeal with my AirPods, and I'm working on it. And this is first world problems. And this is how I know that my life situation is not that bad, because these are the things I'm worrying about. But I actually kind of like the way these look. They look professional. Maybe we'll be using these from now on. But so one night I get home and I was like, fuck, I left my AirPods at my girlfriend's house, and I have the Find Your AirPods app on my phone, and I can see the little thing like beeping near her apartment, and I was like, okay, are they in her apartment, or did somebody pick them up off the ground and now they're at their house? Like what the fuck? So of course I have a bit of a panic attack, meditate, get over it, go to sleep. Next morning I wake up, I go to her house early. I find my AirPods in her house. I'm like, oh, thank God. These things are expensive. They were a gift from her. I was stressing about losing them. I grab them. We're walking to my car. I drop them. I go, fuck. They kind of fall a little bit away. I pick up the case. I'm like, all right, not a lot of scratches. I go home. I'm about to do my meditation. I open up the case. They are not inside the case. And I was like, what the fuck? And then I go to my find thing. I'm like, and so it flashes. They're at her place. You know, I'm like, okay, did I just pick up the case? Did I leave the AirPods there? Whatever. I got to drive to her work to get her keys again, then drive to her house. So this whole time I'm like, please be in her apartment, whatever. I pull into the gate. I look out of my window, and actually as I drove up, there's like trash on the floor. So I knew their trash person came. They moved the dumpster. And I look around. I look on the floor. There's one of them. I'm like, okay, where's the other one? Where's the other one? My heart's pounding. It's fucking completely smashed on the ground. So the trash people came and they either stepped on it or the dumpster fucking smashed it. And I was like, oh man. So I got to, luckily I was about to go buy a new pair. She texted me. She's like, don't buy them. I got you insurance too. We'll figure it out. So she got me insurance. So we're in the process of figuring out what that means. We got to file a claim, and hopefully soon I'll get my AirPods back. It mostly just means a lot to me because they were a gift from her. It was like really sweet. Like, she got them for me to do this show, and that's kind of, and that day that it all happened, it really like, it fucked with me. And I was like, why? I know it's a material thing. Why is it messing with me so much? And it's really because it was a gift from her. And it was honestly also just a moment where I could release these other sort of frustrations about just life in general at the time. It wasn't really the headphones as much as it was everything that they represented. And then a moment to kind of unleash sadness, I guess, with everything else that was going on. But I'm calm about it. But anyway, that's that story.
Well, Joel, I have something to tell you. I'm really sorry, but
yeah,
I stomped on that AirPod.
That's okay. I'm gonna have to come collect some money.
I'm really
me and
jealous.
Tony.
I'm jealous of your girlfriend. I was like, man, bitch, always giving this dude gifts.
Well,
Thought I was the only gift giver.
Yeah. Not a bitch, but also that's funny. I know you're kidding, but then my ego part of me is like, you're really gonna let him talk to her like that? The Tony.
I would never talk to her face like that. I would only say it behind her back.
Oh, so you're the bitch.
Oh my god.
Well,
She
that
doesn't watch
reminds me.
this, does she? Oh my god.
Honestly,
see this.
probably
I'm
not.
sorry if you're watching. I'm sorry about that.
Thank you. You see that? I shook him down.
By the way,
for the
everyone
apology.
watching, if you you don't have to. We don't have to have AirPod conversations. We could have whatever you want to listen to if you would just write a fucking email.
Yeah, or
it's
message me.
mostlysorrypod@gmail.com.
That's right.
Ask some questions. People hate the email. It's a failure.
That reminds me, there was this Eminem lyric. Do you remember when he battled Benzino, the guy who worked who owned the Source? They went at it back and forth. Eminem did completely demolish.
He torched
the guy.
him. Yeah.
Yeah. It was a one-sided fucking thing. But there's a line in the song. I think it's a Benzino diss. It might be another one. But he goes, "And who you calling a bitch?" Bitch. And I just it was just funny. Man, there's some classic battles.
Eminem is always like battling like super whack rappers.
Yeah, I mean they completely
known for.
They ruined Ja Rule's career. Like he was done after that. But yeah, that was good. I really love battles, man. I was listening to the LL Cannabis one. I always go back and revisit these fucking things, or even Common and was it Common and West Side Connection? Or Ice Cube. They had some like beef for a while. Honestly, too, I've been listening to Common's first album. It's really good, man. It's fucking awesome. But that's where I think what's the song?
By the way, do you know who Common's dating right now? Just came out.
Laura Dern? No, who is it? Who? Wait. Give me a clue. Give me a clue. I want to guess.
She's I don't know if I can say this.
It's like secret shit. Oh, you know this?
No,
because
it's not secret. No, it's not secret. It's coming. I mean, there's something about her. I guess we're gonna talk about her on the next Patreon episode.
Oh, I know who it is. Nice shout out. That's a good. Damn, that's a good connection, I think.
That is a good connection.
Yeah.
And that's also a good advertisement for our Patreon, you know,
Hell
because there's going
yeah.
to be a spicy episode coming up.
Oh, man. Yeah, we got some tales on that. We're going to do mostly art. We're going to talk photography, all kinds of art stuff.
Spicy.
Oh, that's funny, man. Damn. Yeah, what did that remind yeah, whatever. There
We're
is
talking about Common's album.
yeah,
We're
it's just a
talking
good
about
it's just a
Common's
good
album.
record, but it just reminded me
Yeah.
of battle rap, and I know I've mentioned, I think I may have talked about it on this show at some point, but if you like, there's a show called King of the Dot that's from Canada. If you look up Cannabis versus Disaster, it's just a crazy battle, you know, and you got to kind of, when you watch it, just remember it's a product of its time and of battle rapping. I don't really, some of the language, you know, I've evolved past enjoying listening to that sort of shit. But as a battle in the moment, it's if you sort of just watch it as this competition and think about the people that are battling and the time, I think you'll enjoy it. It's pretty dope. But yeah, man, what the fuck was I gonna say? Oh yeah, so I guess that leads me to this thing. I mean, we have a premiere coming up pretty soon, and we're kind of cutting it close. We might cut into the premiere time, but you know, we got to give the people what they want, most importantly. But yeah, so do you want to talk a little bit about, you know, we got a couple changes coming to the show for a little bit. David got a cool opportunity to go do some stuff, so we're recording this to kind of have a show to show maybe when he's gone, and then we might I might even do a couple solo episodes just for the time being. We're figuring it out. He might be able to do it, but we're gonna kind of work around what's going on.
There will be episodes, you know. There will be
Yeah,
episodes.
for sure.
Maybe you'll do them alone. Maybe I'll be remote from Ohio. I'm not sure, but
For sure.
I'll be going out to Ohio this week to work with Donnell Rawlings.
Heck yeah.
I'll be in the Dave Chappelle bubble. So
Wow, congratulations,
exciting.
dude. That's
Well, you
amazing,
know,
dude.
yeah, it's gonna be fun.
Well, I'm happy
When I
for
get-
you because
When I get there, I'll believe it. I'll believe, you know, when I get there, I'll be excited.
I
don't-
gotcha.
You know how it is. I don't feel
That's
like flying. I
true.
don't have my ticket yet. I don't know what's gonna happen. Who knows?
yeah. But
what
well, so
happens.
if it does happen, then you know, and even if it's not that happens, like I believe that like you've put in a lot of hard work for a really long time. Kind of like you're kind of like a midfielder, you know, if we want to do soccer terms. Yes, I'm a soccer fan. They do most of the work, get almost none of the praise because the strikers get all the praise, you know, and you know, you work for a lot of strikers and you are the midfielder that you know, sends those passes so that goals can be scored, and you've done it for a really long time without
I love a good
recognition.
midfielder, man.
Oh, me
That's
too,
great.
man. Yeah, I do too. Those are some of my favorite players, you know. Mesut Ozil is a great player. David Beckham, I'm a huge David Beckham fan. He was a great midfielder as well.
He's pretty crazy.
But yeah, so that's dope, dude. You know, it's funny because I've known you for a while, and you've kind of gone in, at least in my mind, and you can shut me up or tell me not to, whatever. But I've, you know, there have been different Davids that I've known. You know, I've seen, there have been like happy, excited David. There's been sort of like angry, like nothing's going right David at times, or like a little bit trying to figure out what your footing is in the game, and then I remember you had this spark of like, I want to do this. I'm gonna be fucking producer extraordinaire. You got in the fucking game. You started like working fucking really hard, and now you're fucking, now it seems like the traction is happening, and you know, you're sort of like, you're helping out people that are like doing stuff. I mean, Donnell's nothing to bat an eyelash at, you know, legendary part of a lot of legendary things, and I know he said that that's how people call people old nicely, is calling them a legend, or if they call you the GOAT, that means
He
you're
is old, though. He's old. You know, let's face facts. He's not
Allegedly,
young.
allegedly. I'm just kidding.
He's not young. He'll talk about the 80s, no problem, you know. He'll talk
But-
about cassette tapes.
Nice.
And,
We
and
love that
8-tracks.
talk here, man.
He'll start
Yeah.
talking about Teddy Pendergrass and shit like that. And
Son!
but he'll be talking
Son!
about actually like going to see Teddy Pendergrass and
Yeah,
shit like
yeah.
that.
But so no, but
No, it's cool, man. I mean, it's like it's like my heroes mostly are behind the scenes guys, and I want to be a behind the scenes guy. You know, if it was up to me, I wouldn't be on this podcast. I would just be behind the scenes running I like to talk.
Yeah.
But I also enjoy not talking, because that one guy on the Reddit that's like, fuck that co-host dude. He
Whatever.
talks too much. It just,
Hey,
I
then
don't know
this
why.
show's
I'm
not
like,
for
he's
you,
probably
dude.
right.
That's it.
He's probably right.
That's all I
He's
gotta
probably
say.
right, though. He's probably right. He's probably right.
I don't know. Is he? I mean, this is our show. It's like we do whatever we want. That's what I want to do with this. It's like if you don't like that, hey, there's literally a billion other shows. We love you. We love you if you want to rock with us. If you don't, I don't know what to say, man. I'm doing what I want to do. That's it.
I'm excited about like, the goal, and I'm not even there yet, but the goal is to obviously just be comfortable, make a living helping produce podcasts, and then be able to, have the time and the energy and the resources to kind of do some projects that I want to do. I want to make some films.
For sure.
I'm really excited about your Patreon. I really am excited about your Patreon, and I swear to people, if you invest $3 a month in Joel's Patreon, we are gonna fucking pimp that shit out.
Yeah, we're working on it.
Might take us 6 months or a year, but we really have huge plans for that, and we're really gonna do some good things,
Yeah.
And I'm excited about that. I really am excited about like where that's gonna go. And this to me is like nothing. Like this, I mean, we're stuck in a pandemic. This isn't the show that we envisioned, And I wanted, like, when I pitched the show to you, I wanted it to be at your parents' house in the garage, set it up like a little house party, and have an audience and have the Joelberg show, where it's like, almost like a late night talk show, Eric Andre-ish, have a guest, have music, be silly, have fun, and have a little party with our friends, and then, that's the vibe. But we're in a pandemic. You started a podcast during a pandemic. Pandemic.
Pondy River,
Panda dance floor, Panda River, Pandemic.
Yeah, I mean, and that could be in the future, and then also, when we're able to have guests and stuff, then yeah, I mean, we'll figure it out. You can be more and more, doing what you feel like you're doing. I brought up everything just because I want to say, like, I've noticed a definite change and sort of like just a little more brightness and excitement in your attitude, and like you definitely get me pumped to do this. So this is what it is. It's like you gotta fucking let your friends know what you appreciate about them while they're here. But yeah, that's
you're doing a great job too, Joel. Good job.
Thanks. I'm trying.
I really appreciate, like, someone having I like I said, I love this Blind Boy podcast.
Yeah.
And he always does like a lot of mental health stuff, and it's really helped me out when I've felt, lost. And once you get deeper and deeper, it's 10 episodes in, so who cares? It's going to take 100 episodes till you find your voice.
It's so crazy. It's crazy that, I mean, we've been doing one of these every week, and it feels like we'd have more, but it's 10 a week. We've been doing this 10 weeks now. That's wild to me. Anyway,
it just happens fast, like Donnell's up to 33 or something like that, and it doesn't seem like that many, but then then again, I remember when we got to 10.
Yeah.
Then I remember when we got to 25, and it's hard for anybody, just because Donnell's successful doesn't mean he's going to want to sit around and do a fucking podcast every week, and just because he has ads and 20,000 people watching a week doesn't mean he wants to do it every week. He's got a life, and he has a kid, and he's got movie auditions, and
that's ultimately the goal, right? Is just to create your own schedule. It's like I know consistency matters, but also, I saw this Zach Galifianakis quote the other day. He was just talking about how, like, we have to get rid of that idea that we should always be working, and that, like, we gotta always, like, be doing, like, of course he's rich and he can say that, but like we do work pretty hard, but also the goal would be to get to the point where we wouldn't have to listen to anyone, and just do our own thing. But but then again, this is nice.
It's better to work smart. It's better to work smart than to work long.
For sure.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Work smart.
Yeah.
Like, look at your podcast, figure out what works, and then just really focus on that. Figure out what you like, focus on that.
Yeah.
Figure out what makes what you think is entertainment, and work on it. It's a lot of work. Really, it is.
Yeah, it is. I was thinking about that too. It's like when they say do what you love, because then you won't work a day in your life. It's like kind of true, because the things you love, they're hard, man. I've been working on this second song that I've been doing forever now. It's like, but really not that long. It's been like a month, but like I feel like it's gonna take me another month or two. Who knows to fucking finish it? And like, even the first one that we premiered, it's like I went back, I fixed it. I'm trying to fix a thing in the vocal, and I've done it a bunch of times, and I'm like, maybe I just leave the mistakes. You know, my voice cracked at a certain part of it, and it's like, maybe that's just how it is, because I've tried re-recording it numerous times now. It just never has the same vibe or feeling that the first one did. So I might just have to roll with the imperfections, you know. And so there's that. But yeah, I don't know. So I was talking a little bit about this last week. Was like me, Chappelle Lacey, Ryan Clark, and Chris Dillon we started like a punk covers band, and we had our first rehearsal on Saturday. We did 2 hours. We did a bunch of songs like Black Flag, Bad Religion, Minor Threat, The Germs, The Misfits, Circle Jerks, and it was dope, man. We got together. We had all just sort of practiced on our own, got into the studio and just ran through all the songs and then did the ones that were loose. But we're gonna, if all goes well, we're taping that this weekend at a open studio. We got a couple of our buddies, Keel, who shot Tony's first special, and he's doing it. He's been filming backstage stuff at Kill Tony for a while. He's gonna shoot it for us, and some other people. And Keel's gonna be doing behind the scenes shots and maybe second camera. But it's just gonna be a fun, raw get together. We're just having fun. Like, why the fuck not? Chappelle talked a little bit about it on his show. How, you know, the times we've talked, we talk more about punk than comedy even. Like, it's just such a, I don't know, I just feel very like-minded to a lot of the things that he thinks. We like a lot of the same music, and it'll be good. So we're shooting that this weekend.
No Ramones?
No Ramones coming up soon. So Chappelle started.
You could do a whole Ramone show.
Yeah, I want to do that.
Just Ramones. That would be pretty sick. And then dress like the Ramones.
Yeah, I think.
I did a Halloween party one year. I called it a Halloween time machine or something like that.
Okay.
Halloween time machine.
Yeah.
And I got my friends. This was in Berlin. I got my friends. They're a German band. They're called Chuckamuck.
Okay,
they're
that's
really
a great
cool.
name, man.
They're awesome. They're really cool. I mean, they're rad. And I got them to like dress up as the Ramones and play Ramones covers. And I got my friend. I got another friend of mine, Jimmy Trash, to be David Bowie.
Nice.
And to do David Bowie covers. And then I got another friend of mine to dress like me and pretend to be me from the future. And so we pretended that we had a time machine. That was like the
oh, nice. Yeah, that's fun.
That was the theme of the party. And then
cool.
we went back and brought the Ramones to the party. We went back and brought David Bowie to the party. And
man,
the Ramones that's a good band to cover. That's
dude,
one
of my favorite all-time favorite bands of all time. I've said it millions of times. I've gotten into arguments with people. I say that I think they're one of the top 10 most influential rock bands of all time. You can fight me on that.
Easy.
Yeah, but it's like, come on.
Easy.
Yeah. So that's so that's happening. That'll be exciting. Fuck, my brain goes everywhere. Party, the time machine.
I mean, we're getting up on an hour anyway, so
for sure.
We got we're about 10 minutes out of an hour, so if people are still listening, it's because they love you, Joel. They're
That's right.
fans.
Hell yeah.
They're here for the ride. Give them a little story. Give them a little outro story. Tell them about time you thought you were gonna fart and you shit your pants. Be silly.
Okay. No, I told the story about shitting my pants already. Yeah, while I was chaperoning those kids. Yeah.
Probably. Yeah.
Yeah, I think I did.
That's usually one of the first episodes of anyone's podcast. You go right to the I shit my pants story.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know if I want to tell a story. Okay, there's either I'll let you.
I mean, you don't have to tell a story if you don't want.
That's
to.
fine. Okay, I'll say this. I went. This is gonna. Maybe I'll do this on the next one. Well, fuck it. I already started it.
No, do it on the next one. Forget it. You didn't start it because I have no idea what the fuck you're talking about.
Well,
do it now.
Oh man, okay. So I'll give you a choice. Do you want to hear?
Yeah.
Do you want to hear? Well,
No, I get a choice.
Okay, because zoo, Zoo
Okay,
or
zoo.
fake possession?
Oh man.
I think fake possession is gonna win. It's more. It's
That's
interesting.
funny. I was gonna say zoo because I wanted to hear the fake possession like maybe at a different podcast so it could go longer.
Okay. All right. Yeah, because we can get into a talk about all of that and religion and stuff
Right.
like that. Okay.
And I feel like I've seen someone possessed as well one time. So we
Wow.
could save the possession, fake possession,
All right. Next
and
time.
hit me with the zoo story. I love a good zoo
Hit
story.
me with the zoo story. Okay, so when I was a kid, my mom worked at the LA Zoo, and I would go to work with her and stuff like that during the summer, and this isn't really a story as much as just like kind of talking about my experiences there. Was I was really young and I was thinking about sort of, I used to just run amok at the zoo, like I was fucking a kid and would like I would go to work with her. She worked in the membership booth, and there was like a side room, a lunch room. So sometimes I would watch like X-Men cartoons in there, and like they every few weeks during the summer they would do these icy, like slushy giveaways. Like they would give people a ticket, and you can go cash it in for like a miniature icy. But I got to go into the office, so I knew where the stash of coupons was. So I would just like fucking make it rain on the zoo, just go around to all the spots, get free ices all day. And to this day, man, the they changed the flavor like years ago, but the original cherry icy, ICEE brand, the brand name icy. Oh my god! If I were to taste that now, I bet it would take me back to some weird like sensory fucking overload of history. But so I would do that, and she taught me to kind of like, we would have checkpoints, and she taught me basically like if anything ever popped off, like where to go, like how to take care of myself around the zoo. So she didn't just like let me into the zoo. Like I knew how to take care of myself, where to go if anything happened, and I knew people around the zoo. Just they knew me as like the kid who would be at the zoo all the time. And
They knew you as the kid with the icy for sure.
yeah, for sure. And I sometimes I had like a little zookeeper outfit, and there was a flamingo exhibit by the front of the zoo, and I had a pin that said like ask me about the flamingos, because I knew all these like flamingo facts and stuff. My mom used to do tours, like when my school would come, she would be the person that gave the tour, and we had this cool bag with all this stuff like flamingo facts, gorilla stuff, the rhinos, the sea lions, all this cool facts. So I had a flamingo. I would chill at the flamingo thing a lot.
Dude, drop a flamingo fact on us, man. Well, how you gonna?
Well,
you don't remember any flamingo facts?
I mean, the number one flamingo fact is they are pink because of the food that they eat. It colors their feathers. Also their mouths kind of work like a sieve. Is that what it's called? Like not like a colander, but like those metal,
sieve,
a mesh.
A sieve,
Yeah.
a
So
mesh sieve,
so
yeah.
when they dip their beaks in the water, like the water comes out and the food stays in their beak, and then they can eat that. And also in the thing they had they used to number them. They would put a little plastic number around their leg, and their legs are so skinny. Like the little plastic thing was like this. Like so we had that. We had a feather. Yeah, there was a bunch of stuff. Here's the thing. Do you know what a gorilla's favorite snack is there at the zoo? What they would give them as a treat?
Sounds like a bad joke.
Well,
Sounds like
here's
a bad joke
so
book.
so also there were Gorilla Biscuits, which there's also a punk band named the Gorilla Biscuits, but they're literally like kind of a dog biscuit, but they were Gorilla Biscuits that had every like nutrition for the gorillas. But one of their favorite snacks was roses. They would give them the ends of roses.
Rose petals, or
yeah, but they would,
like,
they'd give them the bud,
whole
and they
flower,
would- yeah,
the bud.
yeah, and they would fucking
bud.
yeah,
Fucking-
dude, gorillas,
fucking huffing, dude.
oh, dude, I'm budded out right now, dude.
Dude, these fucking buds are fucking gnarly, dude.
Yeah, that they had a kangaroo thing. They had like a fake patch in the back. It was this cool like tour bag that she would walk around. We'd stop at the exhibits, and then she'd take out facts, piece of whatever, and of crocodile.
Damn, bro, you were
skin.
dropping flamingo facts. Holy
Yeah.
shit.
But so there was that. a kangaroo baby, when they're born, they're like this. They're tiny. They're little fucking tiny. They come out, they crawl up the pouch, they go into the pouch, and then as they start to suckle, that is where they grow inside of the pouch. A joey, if you will. A baby kangaroo is known as a joey. But I spent a lot of time as a kid at the zoo, and I used to go to zoo camp during the summer. It was a day camp, and one time I got separated from my group and ended up finding another group and got to go backstage at the reptile exhibit, and that was cool, man. I got to hold a baby crocodile, and
Damn, dude, you're fucking getting excited about this,
dude.
Shit,
it was
man.
fun, man. I
Holy
look back; it was a
shit.
really cool part of
Taking
my
you
childhood.
back. You're like, dude, I met this fucking crocodile hunter, man. Fuck.
Dude, it was awesome. I always wanted to be a zookeeper, and whatever. And then all of that, and Free Willy made me want to fucking swim with orcas and shit. Years later, I got to swim with whale sharks in Mexico. That was pretty dope. At some point, I'll share a video of that. But so
maybe we should do like an animal show. Maybe
mostly
we should do
animals. That would be sick. So I got
fucking the zookeeper.
Yeah,
Joel Berg.
Once a year they had I think it was a python for sure, like a reticulated python or something, which is the biggest species, like recorded species of python, and named Baby. And once a year they would take her out of the tank, and all the zookeepers would stand with their arms out like this and like give her exercise. Like she would go around this huge circle. And I remember one time they opened up the hatch for me to pet her, and I remember touching the tail and freaking out. I ran away. I was like terrified, whatever. Now I have a pet snake. But it was just a great experience, man. Like there was this guy. He was a camp counselor, and he worked there like in one of the ticket booths, but he was an artist. He used to draw backgrounds for as a the zoo was like his summer job or whatever, and he worked. I don't know how that worked, but he drew background art for Dennis the Menace, the cartoon, and we would talk X-Men, and he would draw me sick ass like drawings of Wolverine and stuff. And one time he took me to go see that movie Double Dragon. Do you remember that? It was a cartoon, and then they made a movie of it.
Yeah, I never saw it, but I remember it. Yeah.
Yeah, but anyway, so just a lot of fond memories. I've talked about how I won't shut up, and this is my final story, and then we're out of here. Obviously, I'm doing it right now, but I used to kick it with the security guards sometimes at the. I look back and I'm like, how was I never kidnapped? Like at the zoo, I'm just this kid. Like I would hop the tram for free, like when the people I knew were working, and get to take the tram around the zoo. And I never got kidnapped because my mom taught me sort of how to navigate the world on my own, telling me like, don't talk to strangers.
Not sure a lot of kidnappers are going to the zoo, though, to be honest with you. I don't think that would be the spot.
That's prime fucking place to grab kids, dude.
Is it?
I don't know. Whatever. Anyway, but so she,
I think the mall is probably better. I think the mall is probably
That's true.
better.
That's true. So that was my point, was like I knew these checkpoints to be safe, and also they would have had to smuggle me out through the exit. And I knew all the security guards, so fat chance you're fucking ever getting this kid out. But so I would hang out with the security guards.
No security at the exit of the mall. Also, you don't have to pay to go into the mall. So who's gonna pay? Who's gonna actually pay to kidnap a child? That sounds
that's true.
Absolutely ridiculous.
So then it was pretty safe anyway. But I would kick it with the security guards, and there was this one guy. I would kick it with him, and like all the security guards, I would just be. I guess they were working. Now that I look back at it, I was bothering them while they were working, and I would talk so much, and they would try to get me to shut up, and they would go, "Hey, if you can be quiet for a minute, we'll give you $1." Right? I would fuck that up. We'll give you $5. I'll give you 10. I remember one time they got up to $100, maybe even like 500. Like knowing that I couldn't do it. I'll tell you this: never won any money because I could not be quiet for a minute. They kept like upping the money knowing I wasn't going to do it. Never won a fucking dime. And then they used to have these things I lied. This is my last thing. They used to have these machines you could put money in, and you would spit out a hot wax, like a wax sculpture of an animal. They had them around the zoo. You could get a rhino or a chimp or whatever. They were wax.
What?
This machine would make these dope. They were like, wax sculptures, like, maybe
like
about
a candle. Like a candle?
Yeah, they were hollow inside. So I guess what it was probably
like
a mold. They would pour it over, and then it would come out. They would still be a little bit warm, but like cured. And one time I wanted one, whatever, and at the front of the zoo was all the booths, ticket booths, membership booths. I remember knocking on all the doors and asking for money for all the people. And then my mom found out and she was like, you do not do that. Like, I think she made me give their money back and, or she gave, because I already had spent it. She gave me, she's like, you got to give it back. You can't do that. Like, you can't go around like begging for money. And it was a lesson that I learned. And
maybe we should go to the zoo and do a podcast from the zoo. Joelcast.
Yeah, this is the
ZooCast.
That'd be fun. Weird thing is, I don't really agree with zoos unless they're for like preservation or like if an animal's almost extinct or like you're taking care of an animal who cannot be in the wild anymore. I remember actually one of the times I hit my balls the hardest in my life was at the zoo. There were the turnstiles. You go and you give them your ticket. I was sitting there talking to somebody that was working again, bothering them, and my leg slipped and I fucking just fell on my nuts on the pole. And I remember it to this day being one of the hardest nut shots I've ever taken. And on that note, write us about your nut shots. Write us. We got an email, mostlysorrypod@gmail.com. Shout out to Hot Bob Hot Sauce. Shout out to Luca Clothing. Shout out to Tie Dye Company. I still got to get on the phone and talk about a more formal sponsorship with those guys, but fuck it. They've given me free stuff. Why not plug them? Also forgot one. This company, Addicted to Chaos from Sacramento. He makes these dope punk shirts. He's been sending me shit too. So also, if you've sent me free shit and you're like, hey, if you forgot to mention me and you've given me stuff, email us. I'll remember it. Fuck it. We'll talk soon. Guys.
Oh, yeah. Shout out to the Ramones. Maybe they'll sponsor us soon.
Shout out to the Ramones. Shout out to the Beastie Boys. Rest in peace. Happy birthday, MCA. We got to get to this live chat. And, we're going to do a Patreon episode after the live chat. And then, we'll see what happens, man. You might see some solo episodes. We'll figure it out if David has to go off. But until then, we love you guys. Thanks for hanging. This has been episode 10. Peace.
Peace.
Yeah.
Shots on a gun, I don't wanna be. Guilt trip, these drugs are inside of me. This is not where I wanna be. This is not who I wanna be. And these words I speak today, will that be okay? It's a long and dirty road, but someone